And we're doing it. Awesome. Hey everyone, my name is Panda, aka Jess. I am here today for the very first episode of Behind the Wheel. And for those of y'all that know that I am a truck driver, I am not driving right now, obviously. That's just unsafe and not smart. So I am behind the wheel, but I'm not driving. So I'm just sitting here, just chilling right now. And I'm glad to have y'all here. And I am so excited. Very first episode here with a very good friend of mine, Stephanie. So what's up, Steph? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? Doing well, thank you.
I like that little swing thing. What is that? The hammock?
Isn't it great? It is. It's a hammock and I have it hanging from the ceiling in the house. I got it for $12.
Dang man, that thing's pretty awesome. I know that if I needed to sit on it, I'd probably need about five more beams. So
Oh my god, it's awesome.
oh my goodness. So everyone, I don't know. I've been talking about like over the last few years. If you know me, I've been talking about different ideas about how I wanted to do something, to start a project. And really, like, I've come across like podcast ideas, and I thought that was really cool. But then that also required like a lot of equipment. I don't know, just a lot of time that I don't have. So I found this website. I was trying to use Facebook Live, and honestly, I think that's just a pain in the ass. No offense to Facebook at all, but I definitely tried. I talked with Steph about this idea. We were in treatment together, uh, and we've come across different ideas. You remember that, right, Steph? We talked a
Oh
lot
yeah,
about different.
we've been
Yeah,
talking about stuff like this forever.
yeah, and I mean, I think in 2025, especially, people have podcasts. They've got. I mean, they got a lot of different avenues where they're sharing their opinion and like they're just talking about different topics. So here we are. And I came to Steph and I was like, hey, I would really love for you to be a part of this first endeavor since we were talking about it. And I came up with the idea for Behind the Wheel because literally I'm behind the wheel. And I don't know, it's just a beautiful concept. So this podcast, video call, whatever you want to call it, is all it is just real people having real conversations about random ass shit, about life, about whatever. And if you are interested in, maybe having a topic, please share. Um, we can talk about that. If you want to hop on and be a guest, you can always just hit me up as well. I do have a Facebook page. I'm just starting out, so if you have the opportunity, um, if I did not already send you an invite, please hit follow on Behind the Wheel on Facebook. It will allow me to move forward and be able to continue to spread the awesome message. So, Steph, there's
Yes.
so much, there's so much stuff that we can talk about, and honestly, I don't know. I really love the fact that both of us are, artists. We've got a lot of
Yes.
different brilliant ideas, and I kind of wanted to talk about how your artistic abilities, like your inspiration, your art, your music, the songs that you write, how that helps you get through life, and how that, I don't know. I guess I can speak on myself first, and I'll give you an example. Um, Throughout my life, before I even like started going in recovery, when I was 16, I just started playing guitar. Like I taught myself how to play guitar. I was such a loner. I had just moved to Okinawa, Japan. I was fighting with my mom and dad, and my brother, and I didn't know anybody. And I just was like, okay, I'm gonna go in my room and I'm going to teach myself how to play guitar because that's the one thing that's going to help me, especially when I was dealing with a lot of shit growing up as a angsty teenager, right? And so now, flash forward, wow, 21 years. I still play guitar, probably not as often as I would like to, but I do know that music and just being like showing a creative artistic expression, it has always helped me get through a lot of troubles that I've dealt with. And what are your thoughts on that, Steph?
Oh man, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I I did very similar as you, where I started doing music and creating. Like when I was a child, that was my idea of fun, is just locking myself in my room and writing. And I had, my blank cassettes and anything from playing Barbies and pretending I was Mariah Carey to writing songs and poetry. And I remember making an instrument, making instruments out of rubber bands and pencils and all kind of stuff. But it was always fun for me. But the older I got, and like you mentioned, the hardships of like being a teenager and all that, it became more than just fun. It became survival. I can remember asking my dad how to deal with my emotions. And he said, write, just write. And so it became survival. And I went through a lot of trauma from an early age. And like I firmly believe that had I not dove into music the way I did and studied it and just threw myself into it, I was devoted. Um, I mean, it just healed me in so many aspects. Like it kept my mind busy, but it was an outlet and it helped me
Yeah.
make sense of everything.
Mm.
And I do believe, the starving artist idea or the suffering artist. Like I believe God, we go through this stuff so that we can be a light, a reflection for people, an inspiration,
Mm.
you know, like um like a messenger of sorts.
Yeah.
We go through this hardship and then we talk about it, we sing about it, we create, we channel darkness and into light, you know.
Mm. I
I believe
love
that's part of a job of an artist, you know.
absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Because as a young teenager, and then also as I got older, I mean, I noticed whenever I was experiencing like just turmoil, just like whatever relationship I was in, I was also just being treated like crap, or maybe I was acting like an asshole or whatever. But like, really, I remember it would be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would sit there and just pick up the guitar, right, and just strum around. And I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that riff. And then I'll record it. And then I would
Right.
come back to it, right? And if I was experiencing whatever pain, I'd listen to it. And then I would start singing over the top of it. And then I would start writing it down. And then they soon became songs. And I would sing it. And like, I'm a very an emotional
Yes.
songwriter. And that's
Yes.
always how I've been. And like, it's just amazing how singing and writing songs actually really helped me channel uh, those problems that I was having, and it turned it into something beautiful. And I don't know, that's always been something. And maybe not everyone is a musician, right? And maybe
Right.
not everyone is an artist. Like maybe they don't paint and stuff. But I know that there's something that people do love to do. Maybe whether it's cooking or maybe it's sewing, maybe it's running, it's doing something just to like, I mean, you could be creative in running. You can like run in different
Yeah,
strides, right? So
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
really, I don't know. It's just really interesting to me how expressive or artistic expression in any sort of the way, when you're dealing with certain emotions, like really it helps. Like you can put your emotion into it, and it does transmute that pain, right? So whereas I was either really upset, I would sing, and it's like I'm releasing that out into the ethers through my music. And
Yeah.
I just wish everyone could feel something like that. Now, and that's where I'm trying to get at with this conversation really is you don't have to be a musician in order to be able to handle your emotions. Now, both of us are also, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I'm an alcoholic and an addict, right? And I'm sober now. I've been sober for quite some time. And so my outlet used to be that the solution would always be drugs and alcohol. I don't do that anymore. So now I have to find another way to be able to um, handle hard emotions. Like, what do I do? Music, artistic
Mhm.
expression, that is definitely something that I lean more towards now. And if I can't write a song, maybe I'm singing a song. Maybe I'm just listening to music. Maybe, I don't know, sometimes when I'm just sitting and I don't feel like playing guitar, I'll start writing in my book because I've been trying to write this book for quite some time. And then also is another relief for me. And Steph, I didn't want to say your story or whatever, but I mean, when we did meet, like obviously, I remember that you were sitting down against the wall. It was a fire drill. You remember that, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you were just like, I don't know what's going on over here, and then I just came up to you and started talking. But like as I got to know you, like later on, you were always in your book, your songwriting
Mhm.
book, and you were always just writing. You were like, hey, look at this. Hey, check this out. So I do believe that's something I know that you can relate to with me, and I think that's a beautiful concept. I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts?
I do. I do. Coming from the top, there's a quote I heard somewhere, and I keep it in the back of my head. It's you can't be sad and be singing at the same time. Now, whether or not that's like factual, I don't know, but I know for me that it's been very real because whether I'm in a state of sadness or whatever, if I just start singing, like you said, it is a release, releasing it into the ethers, whatever, but it transforms my emotions almost like that. There's like magic to it.
Yeah,
And when I got clean, because yes, I have been a heroin addict on and off for 20 years, and that's how Jess and I met. Um and it's been we've been on this healing journey together now for a couple years. And I lost myself completely. I mean, completely. I had to rediscover who I was through and through. And I'm still, you know, figuring out who I am. And, the longer I've been in recovery, it's like the more and more I'm discovering or rediscovering about myself. And the music has come back. When you were talking about me always being in my book, well, that was because of two things. One, it was in honor of my late best friend Jamie Cover, who had died of a overdose, and he believed in me so much in a way that I felt few people do. And his opinion, and I cherish very much his thoughts and ideas and regarding music. And if he thought I was good, oh my God, that must mean something. That's huge. Jamie Kerber thinks I'm good because I respected him so highly as a person and a musician. But anyway, he'd given me the songwriting book, And after when he passed, and then I found myself in treatment, I was like, well, what am I going to do with my time? I was like, this is the perfect time to honor him. This is the perfect time to honor my commitment to God. Because I had that near death experience where I almost died of overdose, and I basically, God told me to write blah blah blah. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother. I mean, we could go there, but time
If you want
consuming.
to,
Whatever.
yeah.
Okay, so I had this near death experience. I injected cocaine, and I knew I was dying. It was like I wasn't in my body, I don't believe. And I saw my life flash before me like reels passing by, and then I saw my children's faces, and I just was screaming and immediately praying to God to please give me give me one more chance to get this right. This isn't how I want to go out. I have children I have to live for. Like, oh my God. Like
Hmm.
facing the end, and knowing that you're dying. Uh and that experience propels me and drives me, because I shouldn't be here, but I am here, and because of miracles and God, and every day I try and honor that, and because I'm on borrowed time. But anyway, the rest of the story is angels appeared, and rainbow stream of light came to this side, and I saw an angel wing wrap around me, and rainbow stream of light came to this side, and then everything went silent, and I'm just praying and praying and praying, and the booming voice of God, like it was a very stern fatherly voice.
This is God.
I knew exactly who he was. I knew exactly. And I don't remember all of what was said, but the gist was, you've been doing this way too long, and if you don't get it together, I'm taking you home.
Wow.
And I call them my 4 commandments, because God gave me 4 things to
Mm.
do in order to survive. Like
Mm.
basically, this was the agreement. Hey, if you do this stuff, you get to live. And my children, take care of my children, was at the top, And
Mm.
second one was, don't look back. And that one is the one that gets me, because it's just so fascinating, because it's in the Bible. The story of, I think it's Sodom, or
Yeah, Sodom and
somebody.
Gomorrah. Yeah. Hmm.
Very good, yes. And that was the theme. Don't look back, don't look back. And she looked back and turned into a pillar of salt. And I mean, that had never occurred to me as to why I couldn't get well. But honestly, looking back and remorse and not being able to move forward from the past, it kept me so sick. That's what was killing me.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to heal, I need to stay present. I need to look forward. I need to
Mm.
not stay stuck in the past. And so anyway, that commandment really, you know.
Mm.
And then let's see. The other one, okay. Stop using drugs. Period. End of story. You're done. The
Period.
gig is up. And
Yeah. Hmm.
then this is the one that really got me. It was like, wow, God really knows us personally. Like,
Hmm.
he said, start writing. I don't know if it
Oh,
was start writing again or blah, 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 but it basically, you need to write. and
wow.
um and I just remember saying, God, if I do all of this, all of these things, will you be behind me the whole way? I asked him that. And he said yes. And then just like that. I was in my body. I was alive. I was,
Wow.
you know, and Vasily was there, which is my partner, and I I'd asked him like, "Hey, did all this stuff happen?" Like, because I'm like, was I standing there talking? Like, what did it look like? I was talking to myself. Blah blah blah. He was like, "No." So
Wow. So I remember you telling me that story, and it just like it really like blew my mind, because I don't know if anyone else has looked up like near death experiences and stuff, but I mean, from what I've gathered, from what I've researched, a lot of times people see like the rainbow beam of light. Like I've heard many people talk about that. I've also heard too that they do hear God. They hear God speaking to them. Like, and it's a very interesting concept. Now I've never had a near death experience that I can recall. Now I've almost died a couple times, but like not like where I was like unconscious or overdose or anything like that. Um,
right.
and to me, I think it's just super interesting that like God told you to continue to write. You know what I'm saying? Also to stop using drugs. I mean, I think in today's world, like I don't know, a lot of us are all traumatized, right? Like we've dealt with a lot of traumas and pains and tribulations and stuff, and a lot of us just don't know how to cope properly. And so what do we turn to? Things that are easy, like alcohol and drugs, and that's just it's a way to escape, right? It makes us like not actually feel the emotions that we're feeling. And what another beautiful thing that you said was continue to write. I think, and this is just maybe my crazy mind, but I think God wants us, or your higher power, whatever you want to call it, the universe, whatever, right? Wants us to be able to feel our emotions, the things that we're
Yes.
going through, transmute them into things that are beautiful. That's why we write. That's why we create music. That's why we cook. That's why we do all these things. And I think it's super important that you touched on that because that's like part of the purpose, right? And I don't
Togetherness. Yes,
together,
it brings us
yes,
together.
yes, exactly. And like that's it's I'm just getting chills just thinking about it, and I don't know. I really love that we talked about that because I just wish other people could see it. I wish other people could see that they don't have to live in their suffering, like and then just completely blindside themselves with drugs and alcohol all the time. That's so easy. That's just like I feel like it's a cop out.
It
Instead,
is.
do
It's a
stuff.
cheap thrill. It's a cheap
Yeah.
thrill. It's the easy way out, but it's not really easy. There's suffering. There's
Mhm.
suffering. Like getting clean, staying clean isn't easy either. But
Yeah.
what is it they say? I'd rather live, my best, my worst day sober, like beats my best day high.
Yeah.
You know?
It's I agree with you. I definitely have experienced a lot of turmoil, a lot of depression, a lot of darkness when I was under the influence. Um, Now, mind you, when I was younger, I also experienced things like that. But like, I would find anything to like make me feel better. And I think my earliest addiction was food, which is still something that I deal with today. Um, but just trying to get outside of myself just to feel better. I mean, I learned that that's codependency, right? And so I want to do my best to try and find healthier avenues and
Yeah.
to not have to rely on stuff like that anymore. And thank goodness for programs, right? Like obviously I don't want to bring them in because of anonymity, but really, getting help. I mean, if you're struggling and you want to break free from addiction, there are sources out there. You can always reach out to either me, or if I don't want to offer Stephanie's help, but I mean,
Well, of course. Of course, I'm here.
Both of us are people that are in recovery that are really just trying to get this together, and that's another reason why I wanted to bring you on. I didn't know exactly where we were gonna go with this very first episode, which is awesome. It's the first one. Hey, we're doing it. I think it's a beautiful thing because we both love music, we both love writing, we're both like trying to live each day, just trying to get our life together. And I know that we both have big hearts and we want to help other people out. So that's the purpose of this whole conversation. And I know that we could probably go on for a long time talking more about this, but I definitely wanted to try to put it down to about 30 minutes, and we can always have another one of these awesome episodes and talk more about other things too. And I don't know, I would love to kind of pick your brain about spirituality and maybe the meaning of life one day, because I think if anyone else is just like me or not, I there was a point where I started questioning that, and there was a point when I didn't believe in a higher power, and I was actually having a god fight, and I was cursing them out like most of the time, like I do today. But
He
I kind of
respects
have,
the honesty. No.
yeah, I mean, I still do curse out my higher power all the time,
Yeah,
actually. Like, especially if I get
yeah.
pissed off, yeah, I'm gonna be like, F you, man. Like, what are you doing here? I'm so not perfect, but I think whatever higher power you have, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. I know some people don't like using the word God, and I get it. It's all the same thing to me. And
Yeah.
hate me or love me, whatever. That's just what I believe. I believe that there's some kind of bigger source out there, some energetic power that is very loving, that wants us to experience joy, and just navigate through life and live life and experience everything. And I don't believe that we were supposed to be put on this planet just to suffer. Like, I don't believe that at all. I believe that we were supposed to try to find peace, and people get stuck in the darkness, and that's why you have two knuckleheads like us trying to talk to each other about how to get out of it. So, Steph, do you have any final comments or anything before we end this?
I just, whether we pick up a topic on another occasion or not, but you went into secondary addictions. You'd mentioned food, and I'm like, I deal with that also, and it's embarrassing uh to admit right now, but mine is sex. And
Sex is a
not
huge one.
yeah, yeah. I'm in a committed relationship, and I'm in therapy, and we're also in couples therapy. But I'm
Right.
realizing that's what crops up as my secondary. Hey, I want to feel good. I want to feel good now, and so I just wanted to kind of humbly admit that. You
Yeah,
know,
well, we can
um,
definitely have another additional episode where we're talking about sex addiction. Um, yeah, that's just another form of escapism, and another thing. We all want to feel really good. And also, maybe too, we can talk about love addiction, because I know
yep.
that I am a love addict. Sex addict, not so much, but I am a love addict, and like I know that they kind of coincide with one another. So,
Yes, yes.
well, Steph, I want to say thank you. As
Yeah,
always, I love you. And
I love you.
we we can always do this again. And yeah, for y'all, just if you stayed on this long, we love you very, very much. And if you have any comments, tips, tricks, topics for us to talk about, you want to hop on here, come on, hit me up, and tune in to the next episode of Behind the Wheel. Let's see if this awesome music will come on here. Hold on, wait. Oh, look at that applause! All right.
Ready for
Anyways,
the
yeah,
next episode.
right.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. Wait, can you hear that music, by the way?
Yes.
All right, y'all. It's been a great episode. I love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. Peace out.